in SQL Server, just like I mentioned. Then maybe let me cover a couple more items, and then I think we probably will wrap this one up. In subsequent videos we will dig deeper into some of these topics, but you do have this template browser, also known as a template explorer, a really great tool that contains really ready-made SQL scripts that you can easily deploy in SQL Server Management Studio. I would consider this as a good mechanism to learn some basic T-SQL, especially if you are new to SQL scripting. Okay, you can obviously Google items, but this will also give you some basic format. So the scenario we have in here is like, let's say you're trying to create an index on a table. Well, how can the template browser really help you do that? Okay, so let me switch to Management Studio, and if you don't have Template Explorer, you just basically go to View, Template Explorer. Okay, and then you get this window on the right side. Okay, for now what I'm going to do is as you can see, there's lots of options in here, but one of the options in here in the middle is index, and I am going to select the create unique non-clustered index option, right click on it and select open. Then I will minimize this, but look at that, just with that one click it gives you some syntax with even some comments in there. Saying it's let's say you are using a database. Here is the unique keywords, which is create unique non-clustered index, index name, obviously, what schema, what table, the actual table, that the field that's included in the index, and a host of other information. Okay, so a very good way to get started with with basic SQL syntax. You can obviously do things like create a stored procedure, table, users, views, the list goes on and on and on. So I would say definitely check that out. Okay, and then finally basically there are a host of other things we did not discuss, but let me just go over a couple more features. As far as there are some built-in reporting functionality within SSMS. You may not be aware of these, but before I do that, I am going to pull up a script which is just really complicated script, I guess. All really it does is that I'm defining a variable, and then I am really running a while loop. In fact, let me change this to 100 here. So for 100 times we are going to run these two select statements. Okay, and why am I doing this? I'm basically trying to generate some activity onto this SQL Server, as I'm going to cover the reporting. So let me actually apologize, let me do this one first, which is the activity monitor, and then I'm going to run this one more time. And so the way you get to the activity monitor is you can right click on your instance, okay, and go to activity monitor. And why is this important? Well, I mean, if you are trying to troubleshoot your SQL server, this is where you are going to come. So let me just do let me run it one more time, and then let me run it again. See, I mean, at this point we have a little bit of uptick, but if you drill down into your processes, notice that this one is actually running the select statement. Okay, and also I'm actually running some commands down here. So that is really how you're going to find out what kind of I guess operations are running. I mean, right now I don't have a whole lot of activity because I believe I'm the only one logged into this machine, but you kind of get the idea that you are able to track information into this. If you So now I just expanded my recent expensive queries, and you can see that these two select statements are obviously the expensive commands so far. Okay, so that was activity monitor. Now as far as the reporting, like I mentioned, you can get some reporting at the server level. You can also get some reporting at the database level. So how do we do that? Let's go back to Management Studio. I will let me just pin this one down. You can be at your server level, right click, select reports, and then go to standard reports. Now some of these are awesome reports. It tells you basically all activity at different sessions, right? Top connections. Here are the ones that I really like. Some of the transactions by age, and then even by performance. Well, if you were running into some performance issues, let's say at the CPU level, how would you find that? Obviously, you could do profiler, you could do SPHooToo and whatnot, but this is a good way to just select that. Okay, and what it's doing actually is an SSRS, but notice it actually gave you your top 10 queries by CPU, and then if I go down, I should be able to find the two queries that I've been running. See this? They are number 5 and 6 in here. Excuse me. So that was at the server level. You can definitely go down to the database level. So let's say for Northwind, I'm going to right click and select reports, and then standard reports, and you could say let me do this, disk usage by top tables. And see, we don't have a whole lot of big tables, but you can see orders and order details are right here. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers our lesson. And the last thing I was going to say is you do have the ability to do some SQL scripting, and a lot of times when you are working with SQL, let's just say that you right click this table and you go to design, and then I'm going to this is not the best example, but let's say I add another one, another field. Okay, you could right click here and you could generate a script. Okay, this way if you want to save the actual SQL, you can always do that and come back at a later time. But that concludes our video. Thank you for your time.